How's everyone doing today? Let me hear some energy in the room. Today, we're going to unlock something inside you, a power that's been waiting for you to tap into. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Your destiny is shaped in moments of decision. Think about it, one decision can change everything. I've met people who were on the brink of giving up, and one decision, a shift in mindset, turned their entire life around. What's one decision you've been putting off? Write it down. Today is the day you decide to move forward. Your emotions are your fuel. Master your emotions, and you'll master your life. Focus and physiology control how you feel. Let's try something. Stand up. Let's change our state right now. Jump, clap, shout, feel the energy. That's the power of your physiology. When you feel stuck, don't sit in it. Change your state, and you'll change your results. Knowledge isn't power, action is power. I know people who've read every book, taken every course, but nothing changed because they didn't act. A single step, even if it's imperfect, is better than waiting for the perfect moment. What's one thing you can do right now to move toward your goal? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Commit to it. Your life changes the moment you raise your standards, decide, and take massive action. Say it with me. I am unstoppable. Louder. I am unstoppable. Now go out there and make it happen. How's everyone doing today? Let me hear some energy in the room. That's right, we're not here to be passive. We're here to wake up, to rise up, and to take control of our lives. Today, we're going to unlock the power inside you. A power that's been waiting for you to tap into. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Let me start with this. Your life doesn't change by chance. It changes by choice, and every choice starts with a decision. Think about this. Every single breakthrough in your life began with a moment where you decided enough was enough. Maybe you decided to leave a toxic relationship, to start that business, to pursue your dream, or to stop living small. Your destiny is shaped in moments of decision. I want you to think about one decision you've been avoiding. Maybe it feels too big, or maybe you've been telling yourself, it's not the right time. Let me tell you something, the right time will never come. You don't wait for the perfect moment, you create it. What decision have you been holding back on? Write it down or say it in your mind right now. Because today, you're going to decide, but decisions are just the start. Let's talk about what drives those decisions. Your emotions. Emotions are your fuel. Think about it. When you feel confident, energized, unstoppable, you take action. But when you feel doubt, fear, or hesitation, you pull back. The good news is this: you can control your emotions. You control them by controlling to things your focus and your physiology. Let's try something right now. Everyone, stand up. Shake it out. Clap your hands. Take a deep breath. Shout out loud, I am unstoppable. How does that feel? That's the power of your physiology. When you change your state, you change your life. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember this: move your body, shift your focus, and take back control. Now, here's the part that separates dreamers from doers: action. Knowledge isn't power, action is power. You can read every book, watch every video, attend every seminar, but nothing will change until you take massive, intentional action. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who wanted to build his dream business. He had no money, no connections, just a vision. But every day, he took one small step. He made the calls, he knocked on doors, he faced rejection after rejection, but he kept going. Today, he's living his dream. Not because he had the resources, but because he took action. So, what about you? What's one action you can take right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now? Maybe it's making that phone call, signing up for that class, or starting that project you've been putting off. Don't overthink it, just act. Before I wrap up, let me leave you with this: your life changes the moment you raise your standards. Stop settling for less than you deserve. Decide what you want, control your emotions, and take massive action. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you are. I'm here today to remind you of one simple truth: you have greatness within you. That's right, you are not average, and you were not born to live a life of mediocrity. You were born to do something extraordinary. But the question is, are you ready to claim it? Let me tell you something I've learned: life will knock you down. There's no avoiding it. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Life is going to throw challenges your way. But here's the thing. It's not about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you. I remember a time in my life when I felt stuck. I didn't know what to do, where to go, or how to move forward. I grew up in a tough environment. I was labeled educable, mentally retarded. I was told I wasn't smart enough, wasn't good enough. But let me tell you something. Other people's opinions of you do not have to become your reality. If you've ever been told you're not enough, let me tell you right now they were wrong. You have everything you need inside you to turn your life around. But it starts with a decision. You've got to decide that you're not going to settle. You've got to decide that you're not going to give up. Let me ask you a question. What do you want? Not what your parents want for you. Not what society tells you you should want. What do you want? Because if you don't know, life will decide for you. You've got to get clear on your vision. Now, here's the truth. Once you decide what you want, the road won't be easy. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. But here's the secret. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. When life knocks you down, don't just stay there. Look up, because if you can look up, you can get up. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is this. You've got to be hungry. You've got to want it so bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Hungry people don't quit. Hungry people don't make excuses. Hungry people keep pushing, keep grinding, and keep going no matter what. Think about this. The graveyard is the richest place on earth. Why? Because it's filled with dreams that were never realized, books that were never written, businesses that were never started. Don't let your dreams die with you. You owe it to yourself and to the world to go after your dreams with everything you've got. But let me warn you, not everyone will support you. There will be people who doubt you, criticize you, and try to bring you down. But remember this, people don't throw stones at trees that don't bear fruit. If people are criticizing you, it's because they see something in you that they don't see in themselves. Don't let their negativity stop you. You've got to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in you, and who challenge you to be better. If you're hanging around 5 broke people, guess what? You're going to be the 6th. If you're hanging around people who complain and make excuses, guess what? That's going to rub off on you. Choose your circle wisely. Now, I want to talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest things that holds people back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Most of the things you're afraid of will never happen. And even if they do, you'll survive. You'll figure it out. Don't let fear stop you from going after your dreams. I'll share a story with you. There was a man who had a dream of becoming a speaker, but he was terrified of public speaking. He stuttered, he forgot his words, and he felt like a failure, but he kept showing up. He kept practicing, and one day, he gave a speech that changed his life. That man was me. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm no different from you. The only difference is that I refuse to give up. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. Refuse to give up. Refuse to let fear win. Refuse to settle for anything less than the life you deserve. So here's my challenge for you. What's one thing you can do today to move closer to your dream? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's writing down your goals. Maybe it's taking the first step toward that thing you've been putting off. Whatever it is, do it now. Let me leave you with this. You have greatness within you. You have the power to achieve your dreams, but you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to be hungry, and you've got to take action. Say it with me. I am hungry. Louder. I am hungry. Now go out there and make it happen. The world is waiting for your greatness. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you today. Let me start by asking you a question. Why do you do what you do? Now, I know this sounds like a simple question, but I want you to really think about it. Not just what you do, but why you do it. The reason I ask is because, when you understand your why, it becomes the driving force that pushes you forward, even in the toughest of times. It becomes your purpose, and purpose is the most powerful motivator we have as human beings. Too often, we focus on the what and the how, the products we sell, the services we provide, the tasks we complete, but we forget the most important question. Why do we do it? Why does it matter? What's the deeper reason behind it all? When you know your why, you'll inspire those around you. When people understand your why, they will follow you. Think about the most successful organizations in the world. They don't just tell you what they do. They tell you why they do it. Take Apple, for example. Apple doesn't just make computers or phones. They stand for something bigger. They believe in challenging the status quo, in thinking differently. That belief is their why, and it's why people don't just buy Apple products, they become part of the Apple community. But this isn't just true for companies, it's true for individuals too. The most inspiring leaders and the most successful people aren't just focused on what they do. They're driven by a deeper sense of purpose. Their why is what gets them out of bed in the morning. It's what fuels their passion and perseverance, even when things get tough. Let me share a story with you. There was a young man who had a dream of becoming a leader. He wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He wasn't given any special opportunities. But he had a why. He wanted to make a difference. He wanted to leave the world better than he found it. And so, despite facing countless obstacles, he kept going. He didn't quit, even when it seemed impossible. His why gave him the strength to keep moving forward. Now, I want you to think about your own life. Why do you get up every day? What drives you? What's the impact you want to have on the world? It doesn't have to be a grand, world-changing mission. It can be as simple as wanting to make a positive difference in the lives of those around you. But it's important that you know your why. When you understand your why, everything else falls into place. Here's the truth. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. If you want to inspire others, if you want to lead, if you want to build something great, you have to start with why. This is what sets the great leaders apart from the rest. It's not just about being successful. It's about having a vision that resonates with others, that makes them believe in what you're doing and want to be a part of it. And it's not just about the big picture. Your why can help you through the small, day-to-day challenges too. When you're faced with a difficult decision, ask yourself, does this align with my why? If the answer is yes, then you've got your direction. If it's no, then maybe it's time to rethink your approach. So, let me leave you with this. The next time you're feeling lost or unsure of where to go, take a step back and ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if you don't know the answer, take the time to find it. Your why is the compass that will guide you through every challenge and every success. Remember, it's not about what you do or how you do it. It's about why you do it. When you know your why, you'll inspire others, you'll build trust, and you'll create lasting impact. Hello, everyone. It's truly a privilege to be here with you today. I want to start with a question. How many of you are afraid of being vulnerable? I know, vulnerability can feel scary. It can feel like we're putting ourselves at risk. It's about being open, raw, and real with ourselves and others. And for most of us, that's uncomfortable. We live in a world that tells us we should be perfect, that we should have it all together, that we should never show weakness. But I want to challenge that belief today. What if vulnerability isn't a weakness? What if it's actually our greatest strength? Let me tell you something I've learned from my research and my own life. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of courage. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves to the possibility of connection, of love, of creativity, and of joy. It's through vulnerability that we build the kind of relationships that make life meaningful, but vulnerability isn't easy. It requires us to show up, to be seen, and to be willing to take risks, even when we don't know how things will turn out. It requires us to be imperfect, to admit that we don't have all the answers, and to be okay with that. It's about stepping into the arena, even when we're unsure, even when we're afraid. Here's the thing, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is being afraid, and doing it anyway. Courage is showing up, even when you don't know how it's going to go. Courage is taking that first step, even when the outcome is uncertain. And let me tell you, it's not just about big, life-changing moments. Courage shows up in the small moments, too, in the way we show up for our loved ones, in the way we show up for ourselves, in the way we speak up when we know something is wrong. But vulnerability is not just about showing up in the hard moments. It's also about allowing ourselves to experience joy, gratitude, and love. It's about letting ourselves be seen, not just in our struggles, but in our beauty, in our strength, in our worth. Because when we allow ourselves to be seen, we give others permission to do the same. And when we do that, we create a culture of connection, of empathy, and of love. Now, let's talk about shame. Shame thrives in silence. It tells us that we are not enough, that we are unworthy of love and belonging. But here's the truth: you are enough. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and connection. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to fit into society's mold of who you should be. The only thing that makes you unworthy is believing that you are unworthy. The truth is, we all have imperfections, we all have moments of struggle, and we all have stories we carry with us, but those stories don't define us. They don't make us any less deserving of love and belonging. You are worthy, just as you are. Hello, everyone. It's truly a privilege to be here with you today. I want to start with a question. How many of you are afraid of being vulnerable? I know, vulnerability can feel scary. It can feel like we're putting ourselves at risk. It's about being open, raw, and real with ourselves and others. And for most of us, that's uncomfortable. We live in a world that tells us we should be perfect, that we should have it all together, that we should never show weakness. But I want to challenge that belief today. What if vulnerability isn't a weakness? What if it's actually our greatest strength? Let me tell you something I've learned from my research and my own life. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of courage. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves to the possibility of connection, of love, of creativity, and of joy. It's through vulnerability that we build the kind of relationships that make life meaningful, but vulnerability isn't easy. It requires us to show up, to be seen, and to be willing to take risks, even when we don't know how things will turn out. It requires us to be imperfect, to admit that we don't have all the answers, and to be okay with that. It's about stepping into the arena, even when we're unsure, even when we're afraid. Here's the thing: courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is being afraid, and doing it anyway. Courage is showing up, even when you don't know how it's going to go. Courage is taking that first step, even when the outcome is uncertain. And let me tell you, it's not just about big, life-changing moments. Courage shows up in the small moments, too, in the way we show up for our loved ones, in the way we show up for ourselves, in the way we speak up when we know something is wrong. But vulnerability is not just about showing up in the hard moments. It's also about allowing ourselves to experience joy, gratitude, and love. It's about letting ourselves be seen, not just in our struggles, but in our beauty, in our strength, in our worth. Because when we allow ourselves to be seen, we give others permission to do the same. And when we do that, we create a culture of connection, of empathy, and of love. Now, let's talk about shame. Shame thrives in silence. It tells us that we are not enough, that we are unworthy of love and belonging. But here's the truth: you are enough. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and connection. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to fit into society's mold of who you should be. The only thing that makes you unworthy is believing that you are unworthy. The truth is, we all have imperfections, we all have moments of struggle, and we all have stories we carry with us, but those stories don't define us. They don't make us any less deserving of love and belonging. You are worthy, just as you are.
Let me ask you something. Are you ready to change your life? I mean, really change it. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's the willingness to put in the work, to stay focused, and to never quit when things get tough. Let me tell you something. You can't just wish for success. You can't just hope things will work out. You've got to be hungry. Hungry. Hungry for your dreams. Hungry for the life you know you're meant to live. Too many people out here are going through the motions, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for things to be easy. But listen to me, nothing worth having comes easy. You want to know what separates the successful from the unsuccessful? It's not intelligence. It's not even skill. It's the heart. It's the desire. It's the ability to keep going when you feel like giving up. Because let me tell you something, you will feel like quitting. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when you feel like the whole world is against you. But that's when you've got to dig deep. That's when you've got to remind yourself of why you started in the first place. You have a dream, don't you? You have a vision for your life, something that drives you. And I'm here to tell you you are capable of achieving it. But only if you're willing to do what it takes. You've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to get up early, stay up late, push yourself beyond your limits. And most importantly, you've got to believe. You've got to believe that you can make it happen, no matter how many obstacles are in your way. I've been there. I've been through the struggle. I didn't have it easy. I was homeless at one point, trying to figure out where my next meal was coming from. But I kept going. I kept pushing. And here's the secret. It wasn't talent that got me through those times. It was grit. It was my refusal to quit. You've got to want it so bad that you can taste it. If you're not hungry, you won't make it. If you're comfortable, you're not going to push yourself hard enough. But when you get hungry, when you're tired of being tired, that's when you start making real progress. That's when you start doing things that other people aren't willing to do. But let me tell you, the road to success isn't straight. It's full of ups and downs, twists and turns. You'll face setbacks. You'll face rejection. You'll face failure. But I want you to remember this: failure is not final. It's a lesson. It's a stepping stone. It's a part of the process. Every time you fall, you get back up. Every time you get knocked down, you rise again. You learn from it, and you keep moving forward. So, stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes. The truth is, you have everything you need right now. You just need to get out of your own way. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. You want to live a life of purpose, a life of greatness? It starts with the decision to get up and take action. Don't wait for things to be easy. Don't wait for someone else to do it for you. You have the power. You have the strength. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not. But if you're willing to fight for it, if you're willing to work for it, if you're willing to sacrifice for it, I promise you, it will be worth it. So here's my challenge to you today. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up to get what you want? Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Because if you are, it's time to stop talking and start doing. If you're hungry enough, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're ready to face your fears and rise above them, then let's go. Let's make it happen. You've got this. The world is waiting for you to step up and show them what you're made of. Get hungry. Get focused. Get after it. It's time to win. Good morning. I'm so glad to be here with you today. Let me ask you something. What do you want in life? Do you know? Do you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve? Because let me tell you, if you don't know where you're going, it's going to be hard to get there. Success doesn't just happen by accident. It's not a matter of luck. Success is the result of clear goals, a positive attitude, and the willingness to put in the effort every single day. I want to remind you today that you have the potential to accomplish incredible things. But first, you've got to decide what you want and then take action to get there. Now, I know life isn't always easy. We all face obstacles. We all experience setbacks. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the obstacles. It's how we respond to those obstacles. You see, challenges are part of life. But it's not the challenges that define us. It's how we respond to them that makes all the difference. Let me tell you a little story. There was a man who had a dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur. But he faced obstacle after obstacle. He went through financial struggles, he dealt with criticism, and he faced many moments when he felt like giving up. But every time he fell down, he got back up. He kept moving forward, kept working hard, and kept believing in himself. That man was Walt Disney. And if Walt Disney had given up after the first rejection, after the second failure, we wouldn't have the magic of Disney today. But he didn't give up. He kept pushing. He kept dreaming. And that's what I want you to do today. Don't give up on your dreams. I want to challenge you to take a look at your goals and ask yourself, are you willing to do whatever it takes to make them happen? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to push through the hard times? Because success doesn't come easy. But I'll tell you this, if you're willing to work for it, it will be worth it. And let me tell you something else. Your attitude is everything. A positive attitude can change everything. It can change your perspective, it can change your energy, and it can change the way others respond to you. You see, when you walk into a room with a smile, with energy, and with a positive outlook, people notice. They want to be around you. They want to help you. And when you face challenges, a positive attitude will give you the strength to keep going. I've heard people say, "Zig, I just don't know if I have what it takes." And to that, I say, yes, you do. You have everything you need to succeed right inside you. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about your attitude, your work ethic, and your willingness to learn and grow. Remember this, you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. The key to success isn't just about focusing on your own goals. It's about helping others achieve theirs. When you lift others up, when you support them, when you help them reach their potential, you'll find that you'll be lifted up as well. And when you're going after your dreams, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to lean on others. Because none of us achieves success alone. We all need support, guidance, and encouragement. So reach out. Find a mentor. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, and who push you to be your best. Let me give you one last piece of advice. Never stop learning. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. There's always something new to learn, always a new skill to master, always a new idea to explore. So stay curious. Keep growing. Keep learning. Because the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you achieve, and the more you can give back. I want to leave you with this. You are capable of amazing things. Don't let fear, doubt, or failure stop you. Keep your goals in front of you, stay positive, and take consistent action. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And it starts with one simple step, deciding to go after it. So, let's get to work. The world is waiting for you to step up and show what you're made of. You've got this. Good morning, everyone. I want to start by asking you a question. How many of you have ever felt stuck? I know I have. I know what it's like to wake up in the morning and feel like you're not moving forward, like you're stuck in the same place, repeating the same day, over and over again. But here's the truth, you are not stuck. You might feel stuck, but you are not stuck. The truth is, we all have the power to change our lives at any moment. But change doesn't happen by wishing for it, hoping for it, or waiting for it to come. Change happens when you make the decision to take action, even when you don't feel like it. And let me tell you, that's the hard part. It's easy to think that we'll wait until we feel motivated, until we feel ready, until we feel like we have everything figured out. But that's not how change works. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. And you do that by taking action, even when you don't feel like it. I want to talk to you today about something I call the 5-second rule. This rule has changed my life, and I believe it can change yours too. Here's how it works. When you have an instinct to do something, anything, you have 5 seconds to act on it. 5 seconds before your brain talks you out of it, before fear takes over, before doubt sets in. In those 5 seconds, you have the power to choose to take action. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about doing something, anything, to get you started. Because the hardest part of any journey is starting. But once you take that first step, the momentum begins to build. Think about it. How many times have you been sitting on the couch, thinking about going for a walk or working on a project, but then you talk yourself out of it? That's your brain trying to keep you safe. But the problem is, staying safe means staying stuck. It means staying in your comfort zone, and your comfort zone is the place where dreams go to die. You want to change your life? You have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to make decisions that scare you, to take actions that feel uncertain. Because here's the thing, the magic happens outside of your comfort zone. When you feel that resistance, when you feel that hesitation, that's when you need to act. That's when you need to push yourself to do the thing that feels hard. Because that's how you grow. That's how you move forward. That's how you create change. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Mel, what if I fail? What if I mess up? And I get it. I really do. I've been there. But here's the thing. Failure is not the end. Failure is part of the process. It's not about getting everything perfect. It's about getting started, learning along the way, and adjusting as you go. The people who succeed are the ones who fail, but who get back up again and again. They don't let fear or failure stop them. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They just keep going. And here's something else. You don't need permission to go after your dreams. Stop waiting for someone to tell you it's okay. Stop waiting for someone to approve of your ideas. You don't need anyone's permission to start. You just need to take action. You just need to make the decision that today is the day you start moving toward the life you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a huge leap. It can be a small step, but it has to be a step. Because once you take that step, you're on your way. So, I challenge you today, what is the one thing you've been putting off? What's that thing you've been telling yourself you'll do tomorrow, next week, or someday? I want you to commit to doing it today. And I don't want you to wait for motivation. I want you to take action, even if it's just for 5 seconds. That's all it takes. 5 seconds to make the decision. 5 seconds to take the first step. Because when you take that first step, you're not just moving toward your goal. You're building the momentum you need to keep going. You're proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. You are not stuck. You have the power to change your life right now. So, take that first step. And when you do, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. All right, listen up. If you want to win, you've got to put in the work. I'm not talking about just working hard. I'm talking about being obsessed with the process. The hustle is everything. The world doesn't owe you anything. No one's going to hand you success on a silver platter. You have to go out and take it. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, Gary, I'm doing everything right. I'm putting in the hours, I'm grinding. And that's great. But let me ask you this. Are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams? Are you willing to put in the work when no one is watching? Are you willing to grind when it's uncomfortable? Because that's what separates the winners from the losers. You see, I'm not here to tell you that you can take shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to success. There's no magic formula, no secret hack. There's just one thing, hustle. It's about waking up every single day with a chip on your shoulder, ready to put in the work. It's about showing up when no one else does. It's about outworking everyone else. But here's the thing, you need patience. Success doesn't happen overnight. I'm talking about long-term vision. It's not about what's going to happen next month or next year. It's about where you're going to be in 10 years. Are you thinking that far ahead? Are you building a brand, a legacy, or are you just trying to make a quick buck? Because if you're thinking short term, you're setting yourself up for failure. Let me tell you something about the world we live in today. We have more opportunity than ever before. The internet is your playground. Social media is a platform for you to build your personal brand, for you to get your message out there. And if you're not using it, you're missing out. I don't care if you're a teenager or retiree, if you're not creating content, if you're not putting yourself out there, you're falling behind. But here's the reality. You've got to be patient and you've got to be authentic. I see so many people out here trying to copy others, trying to chase trends, trying to do what they think will make them successful. That's not how it works. You have to be you. You have to bring your authentic self to the table. Because the world is sick of the fake stuff. People want to connect with real people. They want to see your hustle, your grind, your struggles. Let me tell you something. I've been on the grind for over 20 years. And guess what? It wasn't always easy. There were times when I was getting laughed at, when people told me my ideas were stupid. But you know what? I didn't listen to them. I kept my head down and kept doing the work. Because that's what it takes. So I want you to think about this. What are you willing to do that others aren't? What's the one thing that you're willing to sacrifice today that's going to give you the life you want tomorrow? Because that's the game we're playing. Success is a game of who's willing to sacrifice the most, who's willing to hustle the hardest, who's willing to be patient and trust the process. If you're sitting around waiting for the perfect moment, you're already behind. There is no perfect moment. There is no perfect time. The time is now. The only time you have is right now. So stop waiting for things to fall into place and start creating your own luck. Start putting in the work. Start showing up every single day. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. I don't care if your family, your friends, or even society tells you that you can't. You can. But it's not going to be easy. You're going to fail. You're going to get knocked down. But here's the thing. Failure is a part of the game. It's not the end. It's the beginning. Every time you fail, you learn. Every time you get knocked down, you get back up stronger. I want you to understand this. You're not entitled to anything. The world doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you anything. But you can create your own opportunities. You can go out there and build your own brand. You can make something out of nothing. But you have to put in the work. You have to stay hungry. You have to be willing to grind for the next 10 years. So, here's my challenge to you. Start today. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Just start. Take that first step. Put in the work. And keep going. Because the road to success is long, but it's worth it. And remember, the only thing that's standing between you and your success is you. So stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Get out there and make it happen. Good morning, my friends. Let me start by saying this. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. But here's the thing. Greatness doesn't just happen. It's not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. Every single day, you have the opportunity to make decisions that move you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Or you can stay where you are, in your comfort zone, and let life pass you by. I want to ask you something. What is your vision for your life? Have you taken the time to truly imagine what you want? Because let me tell you, the first step to greatness is having a vision. Without a clear vision, you're like a ship without a rudder, lost, directionless, and drifting. Clarity of vision is the foundation of everything. But here's the truth. Most people live their lives without a clear vision. They go through the motions, wake up each day, go to work, go to bed, and repeat. And let me tell you, that's not the way to live. You were put on this earth to make a difference. You were put here to create, to lead, to serve, and to have an impact. The question is, are you willing to do the work to make that happen? Are you willing to step up and become the person you're meant to be? Because the person you are today is not the person you need to be to achieve your dreams. You must evolve. You must grow. You must stretch yourself beyond what's comfortable. You must push yourself to become more. And that brings me to something I want to talk about, the 5M Club. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Robin, 5M, that's way too early. But hear me out. The first few hours of the day set the tone for the rest of it. The way you begin your day will determine how you live your life. If you start your day with intention, with focus, with purpose, you're already ahead of the game. The 5M Club is not just about waking up early. It's about setting the tone for your day, your week, and your life. It's about taking the first hour of your day to focus on what truly matters: your health, your mindset, your growth, and your personal development. It's about getting ahead of the world before the distractions start. It's about taking time to focus on your greatness and to invest in yourself. But let me be clear, this isn't easy. Success requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires a willingness to do what others aren't willing to do. The 5M Club is for those who are willing to make that sacrifice. It's for those who are willing to invest in themselves, who are willing to grow, and who are willing to be relentless in the pursuit of their vision. But success doesn't just come from the hours you put in. It also comes from the mindset you cultivate. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you wake up every day thinking that you're not good enough, that you can't succeed, that you don't have what it takes, guess what? You won't. Because your thoughts will become your actions, and your actions will become your reality. That's why it's so important to cultivate a mindset of possibility, a mindset of abundance. You need to believe that anything is possible for you. You need to believe that you are capable of achieving your biggest dreams. Because if you don't believe it, no one else will. But let me tell you this, belief alone isn't enough. You need to take massive action. You need to show up every single day, even when it's hard, even when you feel like quitting, even when the world is telling you it's not possible. Action is what makes belief real. You must also learn to embrace discomfort. The road to greatness is not a straight path. There will be obstacles. There will be challenges. There will be times when you question yourself. But I'm here to tell you, those moments are not signs that you should quit. They are signs that you are on the right path. The greatest growth comes from the greatest challenges. I want you to think about this. What is your legacy going to be? What do you want to be remembered for? When you look back on your life, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a life full of excuses, missed opportunities, and regrets? Or do you want to see a life of purpose, of impact, of greatness? The choice is yours. But let me remind you, it's not about waiting for the right time. It's not about waiting for things to be perfect. It's about taking action now. It's about doing what you can, with what you have, where you are. Don't wait for the stars to align. Start now. Take the first step. Build momentum. And keep going. The world needs you. The world needs your gifts, your talents, your vision. You have greatness inside of you. And it's time for you to unleash it. It's time for you to step up, to evolve, and to create the life you were meant to live. Remember, the greatest gift you can give the world is your best self. So start today. Take that first step. Make the commitment. And never look back. Because the world is waiting for you to show up, and your time is now. Good evening, my friends. Let me start by telling you this. Your life is the result of your decisions. The things you have in your life today, your relationships, your finances, your health, are the direct result of the choices you've made up until this point. And if you don't like where you are, then I have good news for you. You have the power to change it. The key to living a better life is making better decisions. It's that simple. Success is not a matter of luck, it's a matter of personal development. It's about the decisions you make today that will shape your tomorrow. Every single day, you have the opportunity to make decisions that will either take you closer to your goals or further away from them. And if you want to live a life of extraordinary achievement, you need to learn how to make better decisions consistently. I've spent my life studying successful people, and I can tell you this: the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, luck, or circumstances. It's their philosophy. Successful people think differently. They have a different way of looking at the world. And the good news is you can change your philosophy. You can change the way you think, and in doing so, you can change the results you get. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about the word discipline now. I know that discipline isn't a word that excites most people. In fact, for many, it's a word that sounds harsh, demanding, and restrictive. But let me tell you something: discipline is the key to your success. Without discipline, nothing great ever gets accomplished. Think about it. Everything worthwhile in life requires discipline. If you want to get in shape, it takes discipline to exercise regularly and eat healthy. If you want to build wealth, it takes discipline to save and invest wisely. If you want to develop great relationships, it takes discipline to be kind, patient, and understanding. But here's the truth: discipline is a muscle. And just like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more disciplined you become in one area of your life, the more disciplined you'll become in other areas as well. Discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you develop. And once you develop it, it becomes your greatest ally in the pursuit of success. Now, let's talk about something else that's critical to your success: your attitude. The attitude you bring to life every day determines the results you get. You can't control the circumstances, but you can control how you respond to them. Your attitude will determine whether you see obstacles as problems or as opportunities. Your attitude will determine whether you give up when things get tough or whether you keep going until you succeed. Here's something I want you to remember: you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's right. The people you surround yourself with have an incredible influence on who you are and what you become. If you want to become successful, then you need to start surrounding yourself with successful people. Find people who inspire you, people who challenge you, people who are already where you want to be. You can't expect to soar like an eagle if you're hanging around with turkeys. I want you to think about the people in your life right now. Are they helping you become the person you want to be? Are they pushing you to grow, to reach your full potential? Or are they holding you back, keeping you stuck in mediocrity? If you want to change your life, you need to change the people you spend your time with. You need to find people who lift you up, who challenge you, who encourage you to be better every single day. But let me also say this: you can't expect others to change for you. You can't wait for someone else to improve your life. You have to take responsibility for your own life. You are in charge of your future. If you want to become more, do more, and have more, then you need to take personal responsibility. You need to take ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your life. Because if you don't take responsibility, you're giving away your power. Here's something else I want you to understand: your dreams are worth pursuing. Don't let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big or too unrealistic. Don't let anyone talk you out of going after what you truly want. Your dreams are the fuel that will drive you to success. They are the reason you get up every morning, the reason you keep going when things get tough. And the bigger your dreams, the more energy and enthusiasm you'll have to achieve them. But there's a catch: your dreams will not come true by accident. They won't just magically happen while you're sitting on the couch waiting for the right moment. Your dreams require action. They require effort. They require commitment. and they require sacrifice. Success is a journey, not a destination. You have to be willing to put in the work every single day. You have to be willing to take massive action and keep moving forward, even when things get tough. So, I challenge you today. What's one decision you can make today that will move you closer to your goals? What's one action you can take right now that will get you closer to the life you want? Because that's where it starts, right here, right now. The decision to take action. The decision to change. The decision to commit to your future. I want to leave you with this. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to become the person you've always dreamed of becoming. You have the power to achieve greatness. But you must be willing to pay the price. You must be willing to make the decisions, take the actions, and do the work required to make your dreams a reality. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to take a moment to say how grateful I am for each of you. The fact that we're all here, in this moment, sharing this time together, is something I don't take for granted. You see, I believe that life is not about what we achieve, but about how we show up, how we connect, and how we lift each other up. And I am so honored to be in this space, with all of you. Now, let's talk about something important, the power of believing in yourself. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But it's one of the most profound truths I've come to understand in my life. You have to believe that you are worthy of your dreams. You have to believe that you are capable of achieving the life you want, and you have to believe that you are enough, just as you are. I know that many of us have been through hardships. Many of us have faced challenges that have tried to break us down. And there are times when we may feel like we're not enough, that we don't have what it takes. But let me tell you something, the power is within you. It has always been within you. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has faced doubts, faced obstacles, faced rejection. But they didn't let those moments define them. They let their belief in themselves and their dreams guide them. When I started out in this business, I wasn't a well-known name. I didn't come from a wealthy background. I didn't have a clear roadmap to success. But what I had was a deep, unwavering belief that I could make a difference, that I could change lives, and that I had something to offer. And that belief is what carried me through the tough times. You have to believe that what you have inside is enough to get you to where you want to go. Now, let's talk about something else, self-love. So many of us have been conditioned to put others first, to care for everyone around us, but often at the expense of our own well-being. We've been told that taking care of ourselves is selfish, that it's wrong to prioritize our own needs. But I am here to tell you, self-love is not selfish. In fact, it is the foundation of everything. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give love, energy, and compassion to others if you're not first giving it to yourself. Self-love is the root of self-respect, self-care, and self-worth. It is the practice of nurturing your own soul, of acknowledging your worth, and of understanding that you are deserving of all the good things life has to offer. One of the most important things I've learned in my journey is that you can't wait for someone else to give you permission to live your life. You can't wait for the world to tell you it's okay to be happy, to be successful, to be loved. You have to give yourself permission. You have to be the one to say, I am worthy of this. And you have to go after it with everything you have. I want to share with you a story from my own life. When I first started in television, I was told that I didn't have the right look. I was told that I wasn't good enough. I was told that I would never make it. But what I learned from those experiences was this: you cannot let other people's opinions define you. You cannot let someone else's limited view of you become your truth. Your truth is what you say it is. Your truth is what you believe it is. And you have the power to create that truth. But here's the thing, you can't do it alone. None of us can. Success, happiness, and fulfillment are not things we achieve in isolation. We need community. We need love. We need support. You cannot go through life trying to do everything by yourself. You need to surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, who encourage you, and who remind you of your greatness when you forget. But just as importantly, you also need to be that person for others. You need to be the one who lifts others up. You need to be the one who says, "I believe in you." Because when you help others rise, you rise with them. When you give, you receive. When you support, you are supported. And when you love, you are loved. Let me also remind you of something I've come to know deeply in my own life. You are not defined by your past. Your past is a part of you, yes, but it does not determine who you are or who you can become. The story of your life is still being written. The chapters that are ahead of you are waiting for you to step into them. And I want you to understand this deeply. You can change your life at any moment. The power to transform, to evolve, and to grow is in your hands. Now, I want to talk to you about something that I believe is at the heart of every meaningful life: gratitude. If you want to change your life, the first thing you must do is shift your mindset. Gratitude is the key that unlocks everything. When you wake up every morning and focus on the things you are grateful for, you shift your energy, you shift your focus, and you shift your life. It's easy to focus on what's not working, but when you take a moment each day to acknowledge what is working, you open the door for more of it to come into your life. Gratitude doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your heart. It makes you more compassionate, more present, and more connected to the people around you. And when you're connected to others, when you show up with love and kindness, you start to see that the world is a reflection of you. The energy you put out into the world is the energy that comes back to you. So I encourage you, every single day, to wake up with a heart full of gratitude. Acknowledge the beauty around you, the love that surrounds you, and the endless possibilities that are available to you. When you focus on what's good, you will attract more good into your life. Finally, I want to leave you with this: you are worthy of every good thing life has to offer. Your dreams are possible. Your goals are achievable. And your heart's deepest desires are within your reach. But you have to believe it. You have to claim it. You have to step into it. And you have to do it with faith, with courage, and with an unwavering belief in yourself. You are not alone on this journey. I am with you. We are all with you. And together, we will rise,